Bryleigh. Today, the Fort Lauderdale Lions in the black taking on the South Beach Palms in that baby blue. As we get started with the partner forward, these teams are off getting their weekend set here in Pembroke Pines. A battle of what most people believe, and may agree, the top two teams in this Southern Conference. Again, these teams have gone at it since last year when the Palms first broke through in the Florida Grid League with what was an impressive rookie season ending in heartbreak. Heartbreak as they missed out by one match to that championship match by the Freaks, who no longer are part of this Grid League. So now, a door has opened for the Lions and the Palms to stay at the top of the Southern Conference and hopefully atop the entire Grid League. So, a match with a lot of implications coming up right in front of your face. Early on in this race, Cardona and Emiliana Guerra on the floor for the Lions in black. Over on the Palms side, starting off, they're working on that dumbbell pistol thruster. Okay, you're gonna see it's gonna be the same elements in each quadrant. The grid floor is broken up into 4 quadrants. In every quadrant, though, the level of difficulty, whether it be heavier weight, difficulty in a movement, in an element, it gets harder as you go down, moving forward on this grid floor. However, the repetitions of each element will decrease. Also, keyword in the partner forward race is going to be partner. Your partner must be inside those hash marks you see on the left side, now the right side of that Palms screen. Your partner's in there, your reps count. If your partner's not in there and you're working, I know myself, I might be a little upset because my reps don't count. Marcos Medina now onto the floor for the Lions. Medina has been with the Lions since the beginning. He is now joined by rookie Lauderdale on those dumbbell pistol thrusters. Austin Lauderdale working for the Lions. On the right-hand side of your screen now, Cade, the closer Johnson, and Bryleigh Hansen working for the Palms. Again, Hansen and Johnson, you're going to see them a lot together on the floor at the same time. Probably the best two best players on this Palms squad. And that's saying a lot because it is a stacked Palms squad. Both of these teams taking some players from the Freaks that dismantled and now have joined both of these teams. You'll see them later on in this match as we hit the quadrant number 4. It's Cade Johnson, Medina going side by side. Now it's Hansen and Lauderdale going rep for rep. A slight lead for Hansen and the Palms. Here comes Cade Johnson. He'll snatch it up. He's got one more overhead squat, and he'll hand it off to Hansen to close it out and to open up this match. Here comes Lauderdale. Bryleigh Hansen and the South Beach Palms take race number 1. Right over that finish line is Lauderdale, and you'll see as we go through these races, you win a race, you get 2 points. You finish underneath that time cap, and you'll secure 1 point. Early on, Palms lead the Lions 2-1 as we get into race number 2. This one goes by mirror. And yes, you're going to see one male, one female, basically mirroring each other. Yep, whatever movement that male's doing, that female's doing, right in front of each other, slightly heavier on the weight. But in today's race, we're going to have a hang, clean, and jerk. You see Medina, looks like canning, going side by side right now. And then you see the remainder of the team on the floor, assisting, acting as a human rack to move that barbell from quadrant to quadrant. If that barbell falls, it's the last thing you want. But if it falls, the entire team must go back to the start line. Then they can return and pick up where they left off. And they can pretty much guarantee that this race is done. They're not going to win that race if that barbell touches the ground. Palms looking strong early on as they move to quadrant number 3. You've got Sacord on that barbell for the Palms. Joining her is going to be Brett Henry on the male side. Lions, 2 rookies. Looks like Lauderdale and Morera working on those hand clean and jerks. As the Palms got about 1 more rep. Yes, they do. And they're going to move it over together. And it looks like it's going to be Bryleigh Hansen and believe that's Marcus Washington going rep for rep in that fourth and final quadrant. Palms looking to go back-to-back to start this match off and to build into a 2-point lead after 2. Can the Palms do it? Hands are up. Stay smooth, stay clean, no mistakes. Hansen with one more, communication there, and the Palms will cross the finish line and take 2 more points. Plenty of time right now remaining for the Lions. Again, stay smooth, no mistakes. Final rep for Medina. He'll close it out as him and Rubio cross the line, and they'll get their 1 point. Early on here in Pembroke Pines, Palms 4, Lions 2. Bring your point race. Ladies are set. Here we go. Sam Secord. Looks like LaValle on the other side. Going neck for neck, quadrant by quadrant, and Sam Secord. It looks like Secord got those handles over first, got the body over first, and the Palms are certainly celebrating like they won. After 3, Palms lead early on with a total of 6-3 as we get into the echo races. Coming up.
Stand by.
Opening up on the floor, Brianna Maxwell for the Palms. On the Lions side, you see him on the left-hand side on that blue grid. You see the males working their way up the floor ready, getting set for their next element. Looks like the ladies are going to try and finish up this element here with these kettlebell swings. You'll notice there's a bit of strategy here where you have Heather Hudson right there, right behind, waiting to relieve Maxwell. LaValle just relieves her teammate there. And it makes sense, setting the male up and have that girl there so they get that quick switching. Because again, only 2 athletes, 2 players allowed on the floor. Looks like it is Eric Cardona on that blue side setting up for the Lions. I believe it might be Michael Shern for the Palms. We'll wait and see so I can get a closer look as they get set. Palms are off on that freestanding handstand push-up. Again, balance, core strength, body weight strength, all put into work right here. And yes, that is Michael Shern knocking out those freestanding handstand push-ups. Deficit, to say the least. And Emiliana Guerra looking to knock it out as Eric Cardona, who first started on that element, is now with the medicine ball in between his legs, jumping onto the rings. And yes, they will be the first. They were the second to start the handstand push-ups, but Eric Cardona and Guerra get their team back to where they need to be. First onto the rings with the medicine ball muscle-ups. And you might think, muscle-ups are hard. And wow, with the ball doesn't weigh that much. What's difficult about this is your mind is thinking about the muscle-up. Moving smooth through it, moving proper through it, trying to not exert as much energy, save as much energy as you can, yet you're exerting so much energy in just thinking about holding that ball in between your legs, because if it falls from your legs, you're gonna have to get off those rings or have a partner put them back in between your legs. So again, a lot going through your mind during this extremely challenging and difficult movement without the ball. And the Lions are done first. First to the quadrant number 4. You've got a clean to thruster going for the Lions right now. Palms are there as well. You'll see the ladies in that 4th quadrant. They're only gonna do the clean part of it. So Placencia working on the clean, Cade Johnson working on that full clean to thruster. Stephanie Rubio on the floor now for the Lions. Morea picking up that barbell for the Lions. Can he keep the lead, or will Cade Johnson once again close this out? Hand is up for the Lions. 4 reps remaining in this element. Cade Johnson, hand is up for him. And it looks like Secord's gonna take over. Does he have enough in the tank? Morea with 1 more rep. Rubio to close it out. Stephanie Rubio stands it up. And the Lions take their first race win in the match. Not far behind are the Palms. They'll take the first of 2 echoes here in this Fuji match format. After 4 races, Palms 7, Lions 5. as we're going to rerun that same exact race here. Heather Hudson to start off on those kettlebell swings. We'll see if they send the same male down. It looks like they are sending Cardona and Shern. Cardona for the Lions and Shern for the Palms, making their way down already to quadrant number 2. So it looks like the ladies will handle all of the repetitions for the kettlebell swings once again. Heather Hudson is repping these bad boys out. Cardona looking on just in case he might have to switch in. I doubt he's going to have to do that. The girls seem to have taken care of these swings well in the first one, doing the same here on the second one. Strategy changed just a bit. You see Maxwell now in for the Palms, whereas Maxwell started it and Hudson closed it out. Maxwell will now close it out on the kettlebell swings. Lauderdale was the one who closed it out for the Lions. She's doing the same thing right now, as Shern and Cardona are set and ready to go for some handstand push-ups. Final few reps for Lauderdale. Here comes Cardona, Guerra to relieve him. It looks like Shern's going to take the entire toll of those freestanding handstand push-ups. Same strategy here for the Palms as Bryleigh Hansen gets set for her medicine ball muscle-ups. And same strategy for the Lions as Guerra looks to close it out and let Cardona start off with those muscle-ups. Hand is up for Shern. We'll check up on the Lions. Believe she has one more rep, and Guerra does get it. And no, there was a fault. There was a fault by Guerra, and Cardona started doing his reps. A costly error. Cardona had about 2 or 3 reps in, and none of them counted. So a door has opened, a window to climb through has slid up for the Lions. Can Bryleigh Hansen hold this lead to that barbell? If the Palms can get to the barbell before the Lions, I would bet some good money that the Palms have a good chance to win this race. If not, the Lions will sweep the Echoes and get themselves back into this match just after 2 races. Here comes Paula Leyes-Blum for the Lions. Palms trying to hold on tight. Again, Lions in black, Palms in that baby blue. Final few reps. We have our athletes on the barbell, and Placencia back in quadrant number 4 for the Palms. Again, ladies are performing just the cleans, while the men are performing a squat clean to overhead. Here comes Marcus Washington for the Palms. Lions in black, making easy work smooth through those squat cleans to overhead. Stephanie Rubio onto quadrant 4, she'll take over for the Lions. Samson Cord looking to come relieve Marcus Washington. Smooth is fast, and fast is smooth on this floor, as it looks like Morea is back on the floor for the Lions. Morea and Rubio are the 2 that closed it out for the Lions. Can they do the same here, or can Secord? A fault on Secord's side. Will this open up the door back up for the Lions? Final rep for the Palms. And the Palms close it out, and they come into this taking the second Echo. Such a close and hyped race right there. The Palms squeak through and get the second Echo race win. We're looking at it right now. I'll get you a score total in just a moment. What a way to come back after 45 seconds to get some action right now with this ladder. The entire grid floor set up as a ladder as the race is called. And yeah, you're gonna work your way up the ladder. You're gonna have a barbell in each and every single quadrant. Today, we've got 2 deadlifts followed by a clean. Each quadrant has a heavier barbell as you work through, but each quadrant as you work through is worth more and more points. Right now, we're going into quadrant number 4, Guerra and Maxwell. If they finish this lift successfully, it's gonna be worth 4 points. Quad 3 worth 3, 2 worth 1, and that first quadrant, well, worth 1. Quadrant 2 worth 2, 1, yeah. You guys get the picture. Marcos Medina in the quadrant number 2 right here. He'll work over to quadrant number 3. If a player can clear the entire floor, a successful lift in each and every single quadrant, with a total of 10 points towards their team. Jeff Laura onto quadrant number 3. If I put some money on it, Medina and Laura, both 2 males whom I would guarantee can clear this floor with today's element. Medina does it easily. Laura will do it just as easy, smooth as butter for Laura. 10 points for the Lions and the Palms on that athlete alone. Lauderdale, Austin Lauderdale on the floor into quadrant number 2 for the Lions. You're going to see some strategy come into play as well. You'll see some players do two deadlifts and then drop the bar, shake it out, perform the clean. Again, costly as far as time. As you heard me before, time is money on the grid floor. Some will go 2 deadlifts right into that clean, like Sanchez just did right there. Successful lift, saving some time. Lauderdale chooses to do the opposite, but she secured the 4 points for the Lions. Here comes Cade Johnson. Again, time is made, not during the actual movement, but you're going to see Cade Johnson sprint to each and every single barbell, trying to get as much time for the remaining of his teammates. Morea. Here's quadrant number 3. Here comes Johnson. Morea and Johnson into quadrant number 4, both looking to clear this ladder. Cade Johnson, touch and go the entire way. Cade Johnson stands it up. Morea wasn't quite able to get up from underneath that clean, but he'll secure a total of 6 points for the Lions. Cade Johnson did so with 10. Heather Hudson, Stephanie Rubio. Rubio, one of the stronger strength specialists on this very floor. Hudson, one of the greater utility players in the entire Florida Grid League. She's fast, gymnasty, and strong. As Heather Hudson stands it up, as does Rubio. Here comes Mr. Hanover. Brett Henry on the floor for the Lions, for the Palms now, excuse me. We're going side by side right here, ladies and gentlemen. Another clean rep for the Lions. Going into quadrant number 4. Both males taking a pit stop. Quadrant number 4. Deadlift, clean. Brett Henry stands. Brett Henry can't quite get it. Neither can the Lions. Bryleigh Hansen up for the Palms. Canning up for the Lions. Into quadrant 3. 3 points secured. Bryleigh Hansen stands it up with ease. You see Cody Landrum communicating with his males. He said, go straight 3. Skip 1, skip 2. Let's get those 3 points. Communication not only by the players, but by the coaches. Emily Gold does the same thing. Eric Cardona, 3 points. Look it, easy.
Washington hits 300. Cardona hits 275. Getting every single point.
Right now, it's time for another ringer point race. You got Cody Schaefer, Paula Leyes, go. Looks like both of these are going to start off. We got some muscle-ups. Both players using that butterfly muscle-ups with Paula Leyes Blum made famous all over Instagram, all over social media. Cody Schaefer looking to do the same. Beat the master at the art, but she cannot. Paula Leyes Blum takes the ringer point race. Jamie Gold is fired up, as is the entire Lions squad. Trying to get these Lions back into this race. We are all set up right now. Coming into the next race of this afternoon, and it's time to get gymnasty. Into this race, Palms lead the Lions 13-8, and we're opening up with some handstand walks right here in Jack and Jill. Again, some amazing bodyweight specialists, gymnastics in this race, but in both of these teams. You're going to see guys like Cade Johnson, Heather Hudson doing handstand walks for the Palms. On the Lions side, yeah, you have your Eric Cardona, but you have your Macchiarelli doing it. You got your Marcos Medina doing some work here. So an entire team effort. Marcus Washington doing some work. Entire team effort from both teams early on in Jack and Jill. Emiliana knocking out some handstand walks on the right side of your screen. Going back is Washington. There's Canning in black. Here comes Hanover. Proctor and Emiliana on the right side of your screen. As we go through this race, things will get more challenging and more challenging. And yeah, probably using your body a lot more than you would think. I'm tired just sitting here watching this. Cade Johnson, safe. A good spill, good recovery there by Johnson. As we are finishing up the final few repetitions of this element, you see the referee's hand is up. And there it is. This looks like this is going to be the last final one, as you see Guerra getting set with the medicine ball in between her legs. So yes, she's going to flip up on her hands and walk with the medicine ball in between her legs. Yes, you're seeing that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. Bryleigh Hansen doing the same for the palms. Switching over. There go the Lions. Switching over. Proctor will go ahead and relieve Hansen on that one. And there we go. We're done with the medicine ball. So let's tie a sled to our waist and take it home. That's what Eric Cardona thought would be a good idea. That's what he does for fun. So that's what's going to happen. Eric Cardona bringing it home by 2 quadrants. Eric Cardona, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't just voted MVP a few years back for nothing. Eric Cardona brings it home and brings the Lions just a little bit closer in this match. Michael Schern looking to close it out and get that 1 point for the Palms, which he does. So Jack and Jill is through.
Doing a great job with that slate track.
Teams congratulate each other. Whether you win or lose the race, you always see these teams coming over and congratulating each other. 14-11, a 3-point lead right now for the Palms over the Lions, as the Lions slowly inching back. As we get into the final 3 races, we're going into the female triad. Time for the ladies to put on a show. They are off. Opening up with a double kettlebell, clean to overhead. Let's get those ladies working with both of those dumbbells. Excuse me. Those ladies working with both kettlebells in this element, seeing when and where to switch and when and where the strategy really take place, or when you need to save some time. But again, it's conserving energy though, right? Because this is all ladies. The men cannot come in and help the ladies out. So now you're limited to 5 players rather than your entire team. And again, there's an element for each lady, 3 ladies on the floor. Think of each element as a station, right? Each station has to have the same amount of reps completed. So you're going to see a lot of strategy coming into play where one female might finish her station first, move over, and then complete her other teammate's station to get through things faster. So again, if you do see that, that's why you see it. So one female may do a lot more work in one section, whereas now, when things get nasty, you might see those bodyweight specialists help out and get some more reps done for their teammates. As Hudson looks to finish up the bar muscle-ups, as the Lions chip away at the rope climbs, as you see right there, Bryleigh Blum, she's going to go ahead and try and take over, but she doesn't need to because Annie got it. So they'll go on to the barbell right now, as the rope climbs look to be finished up by Hudson. Bryleigh Hansen going to finish up some reps on that first rope. Hansen is done. Macchiarelli, Lauderdale, they'll finish up with that barbell. Lauderdale will stay on the floor. Here come Bryleigh Blum, and the third and final girl coming onto the floor looks like to be Canning. Placencia and Secord knocking out the shoulder to overhead with that barbell. Canning, Bryleigh Blum, and Lauderdale knocking out the deck over the box. Secord starts, Placencia starts. And you have Heather Hudson coming onto the floor for the Palms. All 3 ladies, neck and neck right here. Again, you're gonna notice they all land in that squat. So deck to squat over the box. So again, you're doing your burpee, but you must land below depth in that squat position before you jump on and over the box. Plenty of hands in the air for the Lions. Looks like they are close. I don't see a hand up yet for the Palms. Lions looking to get themselves back into this race. Do they need some help? Lauderdale will close it out for Canning. Austin Lauderdale getting the Lions back into this thing. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the Lions do not go away. As the Palms look to finish and close this out. Hudson is done. 2 more reps for Cade. Bryleigh Hansen finishing up. Hand is up on that referee side. Cade is done. Hansen, final few reps. Get the deck to squat over the box. And the Palms cross the finish line. They'll get their 1 point. 9 races down. We got 2 to go. Time for the men to take over. As we get into this, Palms lead now. Dwindled down to 2. As the Palms lead 15, Lions 13, and the men are off. Medina, Hanover, Modea on the floor for the Lions. On the Palm side, opening up with those kettlebell hang to overhead. You can either go with the snatch or you can go ahead with that shoulder to overhead. You've got Johnson, Henry, and Washington now on the floor. Again, a 2-point lead. That's all the Palms have now. What was once a 4-point lead is now just 2 with 2 races to go. Hanover and Modea will move forward into the into the bar muscle-ups. Got a little bit ahead of myself there. Legless rope climbs is up next. Proctor, Schaefer, Johnson on the bar muscle-ups on your screen. Cardona, Modea, and Hanover in the black for the Lions. Hands are up all around, and the Palms are off onto the rope climbs. Legless rope climbs for these gentlemen. Schaefer stayed on the floor, and so did Proctor. I believe that's Washington on the far end rope. The Lions are just about done. Cardona looking to finish up that final rope climb for this team in black. Henry, Johnson, Washington now on the floor. Lions are set and moving on that shoulder to overhead. Slight lead right now for the Lions in the baby blue. Modea looking to close it out. He's got a few more repetitions remaining. Washington, Henry, and Johnson stay on the floor for the box jumps. Modea seems to be the only Lion that stayed on the floor from the previous quad. These 3 gentlemen on your screen in the black, looking to get them within 1 point of the Palms, but not if Johnson, Washington, and Schaefer have anything to say about it. It's coming down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. 2 points separate these 2 teams going into the final race. Can the Palms widen their lead, or can the Lions bring it within 1 point? Hands are up for the Lions. Hands are up for the Palms. 3 more to go for Modea. Make that 2. Cardona's done. He'll finish it up for Modea. Can the Palms close it out? And the Lions bring it home. It seems to me the Lions did, but it was close. Wow, was it close. Schaefer, Johnson, and Washington. Johnson was on for the muscle-ups. He was on for the shoulder to overhead, and he was on for the box jumps. And it was so close. We're going to rerun this damn thing. We are rerunning this race. As the Lions and the Palms, the men will start on the shoulder to overhead, then finish with the box jump, the deck to squat over the box. That's how we are going to rerun this race. Medina, Morea's gonna stay on the floor. Modena will leave. His teammate will stay. Here comes Cardona. Proctor, Washington, and Schaefer onto the deck to squat over the box. Palms looking smooth. We've got an issue on the Lion side. I can't quite tell what's going on here. Head coach Jamie Gold is not happy. Cody Landrum pushing his boys to keep moving, to keep fighting. Lions continue chipping away. Hands are up on the Palm side. I don't see any hands up yet on the Lion side. Final rep there for Proctor. Schaefer is done. Marcus, Washington, hands it over to Schaefer. Cody, Schaefer. Palms cross the finish line here on this rerun. Jamie Gold is not happy. Something happened here, Commissioner. Mather Wisball's on the floor. We're going to let them communicate. And yeah, we're going to rerun this damn thing for a second time. Same way. Starting on the shoulder to overhead, finishing up with the box jump overs. But first, you got a deck to squat over the box. Proctor, Washington, Johnson on the floor on the right-hand side of your screen. Left-hand side of your screen, Eric Cardona now onto the shoulder overheads. He didn't do them on the first 2 times around. He will this time around. Modena looking to join him. They're going onto the box jumps. Deck, hit below depth on your squat. Get over that box. There goes Washington. We're going side by side right now as these gentlemen look to close it out. Will this be the final rerun? Or will we have to do it again? Hands are up for the Lions. Hands are up for the Palms. Can the Palms close this out? Or can the Lions take this as they did on the first time around? Washington's done. Johnson's done. Limping over the finish line. And the Palms take the second rerun. I think this one's final. These men are depleted, and the Palms take the male triad. We're going into the sprint relay. Palms have a 3-point lead. Here we go. Again, 3-point lead right now into the sprint relay. All the Palms need to do is finish this race under the time cap. They'll get their 1 point, and they will win the match. Lions need to win, get their 3 points, and hope, fingers crossed, the Palms find a way to not finish this race. During the sprint relay, the player that completes the final repetition in the element must complete a 4-point touch at the start line, sprint to the finish line, and yes, they are done for the remainder of the match. So strategy, key here. Are you willing to lose one of these players for the remainder of the match just to get an element done a little bit faster? As you see, Modena opened it up for the Lions. Canning finishes the final rep, so she'll be done. Placencia doing the same thing for the Palms. As we move over to the rings, but who else? Paulius Blum onto the rings for the Lions. It's looking like Cody Schaefer for the Palms. Getting their ring muscle-ups done. 2 more reps to go for Blaise Blum. Cody Schaefer switching up his technique. Final few reps for him. Blaise Blum is done. Cody Schaefer knocking out the last rep on a butterfly. She'll sprint down. So will Schaefer. Next element. You're going to have the dumbbell pistols. Sam Secor on the floor now, adding that thruster at the end of each rep. Again, on the sprint relay, elements are universal. For males, females, the weights, the repetitions, the movement of the element does not change. Secor, smooth as butter on her pistol thrusters. Same could be said for the Lions, as they'll be first to be done, and they're going to cross that finish line. On to the next one. Who else but Eric Cardona, medicine ball in between his legs, as he's going to walk on his hands all the way down to the finish line. Frustration is building up on the Palm side as Sam Secord finishes the dumbbell pistol thrusters at the same time as Cardona crosses the finish line with his medicine ball handstand walk. Here comes Hansen with the ball between her legs. Emiliana Guerra onto the bar with a triple touch. Toe to bar, chest to bar, bar muscle up. She's done. 4-point touch, she'll sprint down just as Bryleigh Hansen will cross the finish line for the Palms. Once again, sense of urgency for the Palms is simply on just having to finish this race under the allotted time. The Lions need to win this race and hope the Palms don't finish to force a gridlock. Heather Hudson onto the triple touches. She's done. She'll sprint down to the finish just as the Lions are a full element ahead of the Palms as they are done on that box element with that deck to squat over the box. Here comes the wall pulse. Just as you can see the Lions in the corner of the screen still working slightly ahead of the Palms. One full element. Palms are done in quadrant 3. They're going to stay in quadrant 3 as they'll pick up that wall ball, but not before the Lions can finish that element. Ladies and gentlemen, it is coming down to the wire. Here comes Marcos Medina. He's closed out a majority of the Lions sprint relays. He's had some fantastic finishes that have come down to the final second. He can take a little bit more of his time here as he's got a slight lead. And now all the Lions can do is hope that the Palms make a mental error, mental mistake, and cannot finish this up. But who else but Cade, the closer Johnson, to close this out? All he needs to do is finish this race under the time cap. Cade Johnson, with time winding down, closes it out. And the South Beach Palms will take the race and, take the match win, not the race win. The Lions did that, but they took the match win, closing it out